And I'm really another very, very busy lady just walked into the studio. Allison from the Pacific Whale Foundation. Why don't you get over there so I can look right into your eyes and talk to you one-on-one. Boy, there is so much happening with the Pacific Whale Foundation coming up in February that I just said I had to talk to you. Before we know it, it's going to be the Run for the Whales coming up on February 10th, of course.
Right.
Which is massive.
Yeah.
This year it's bigger and bigger and bigger than ever.
We hope so. We hope so.
Well, you've added a lot of walks and parts to it. There's more cakey events and things. And there's even a longer run, I think, this year, too.
I don't know if it's longer, but there's different formulations from last year's 11.5 mile run, a 5K, a 10K, and then a 1 mile walk.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
And so that's super, super important. I just want to, we'll mention this a lot of time, MauiWhaleFestival.org, because there is so much going on. In case you want to check that out, you probably should get on the run right away and download the form and sign up for that. It's happening in Maui, and it's really it's a big event. I mean, I think you had a lot of people come out for it last year.
Yeah, close to 700, I believe, last year.
That's huge.
It is a lot. It is. It's grown every year. And it's I think it's probably one of the largest. It's, I'm pretty sure it's one of the largest running and walking events on Maui. So.
Well, there's a few reasons for that. Number one, it's a fabulous course. I mean, right there by the ocean and everything. And people love your T-shirts.
Yeah, you get a free run and walk T-shirt for participating. You can also buy it if you aren't running and walking. We have a lot of people who come out to support the people who are actually in the races, so they bring their families. We have entertainment for the whole time. We have live music in the courtyard of the Maui Harbor shops. For when they leave and when the runners get back, and there's going to be some eco vendors there. We give away prizes, and there's a medal ceremony when the race is over. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to do, even if you're not actually running and walking in the event itself.
Well, the Pacific Whale Foundation has so much going on with this. During this super busy time of the year, how many people are involved in putting in all the whale events in February?
Pretty much the whole organization is involved in some way. It's our peak season in terms of the eco tours that we have for whale watching. So we have a lot of people on island, and we want to give them lots of things to do where they can learn about whales and participate with other like-minded people who are big fans of whales and our oceans. So we do pack most of our events in February, which is the height of when we expect to have most of the whales here by that point. So
I'm going on a Whale Watch Friday.
Yay!
Oh, you know what? I don't go enough. I have a friend that tries to go. Honest to gosh, she goes every week.
Nice.
She's a member. She
well,
goes
it's
every week. And she
every
says,
time.
It is, and she just loves being on the water, and she loves seeing the whales. And she says, why not? Why not enjoy one of the most wonderful things to do and get out and see the whales? You
Definitely.
know, we all get so busy sometimes we don't allow ourselves that, but we really should.
Right.
We really should. Okay, so there's this, I am very, very, very excited, and I want to go to this event. An event coming up, the first ever Masquerade GALA is going to come up on Saturday, February 17th at the King Kamehameha Club. And this is like a whole new era of something going on. And in all the years I've been involved with the Pacific Whale Foundation, 29 years, I think, I have never seen a big party like this. And this is like massive, and it's going to have my dear friend Peter Cater is going to be playing piano, and it's going to be like a red carpet event, everything. So tell me about this whole idea of doing this Masquerade Gala.
Yeah, we're very excited about it. It's, like you said, it's our inaugural event, and we decided to go with a masquerade theme because we thought that would be fun and interesting. It's an opportunity for people to get dressed up. It's going to be a very elegant night out. And like you said, there's going to be a red carpet photo booth upon arrival. We're going to have pupus made with sustainable seafood.
Explain this. I do not understand this. I was doing the commercial. I do not understand what pupus with sustainable seafood is.
Right. Well, for instance, on all of our dinner cruises, the Packwell dinner cruises, if we are serving seafood, we make sure it's sustainable seafood. So there's a Monterey Bay Aquarium actually has a lot of information and guidelines on making sure fish are caught from, they're sustainably harvested fish, that they're caught using methods that don't deplete the stock of fish. Just different guidelines to make sure that you are that the fish have been acquired in a way that is the most conservation minded.
Interesting.
Because there's a lot of fishing methods that deplete stocks that you may not know where the source of the fish is coming from and things of that nature. So we make sure that.
So net fishing, no, no big net gathering.
I don't know if there's a lot of things that are just a categorical no,
Or
because
the
it might
kind of
depend
fish?
on the type of fish. For instance, like certain type of fish you may be able to use this type of method, but this type of method doesn't work for their populations.
I learned something.
Yes.
I never even knew about what a sustainable seafood bar was.
Yeah,
so that's a first. Okay,
right. So we're gonna have sustainable seafood pupus, open bar. If you don't have your own Masquerade mask, there'll be masks that you can get as a part of your ticket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I like that.
Lots of different
fish masks. Tortoise
I haven't
masks.
seen them. They've come in. They've been shipped in, but I didn't get a chance to see them. But I'm sure they're very nice.
Have all these faces as fishes, right?
Right, exactly. And then there's a shuttle. If you were on the west side, we're going to have a shuttle from Lahaina to bring people down to.
Now that's brilliant. I don't know who came up with that idea. Was that your idea?
I'm sure it was Marina's idea.
Marina,
our events manager.
Brilliant idea. I've never talked to anyone that came up with that idea before. But if you're going to be going and having drinks and having fun, you don't want to drive that long distance.
Yeah, we want to make sure people can have fun and not worry. So
great idea.
There's a shuttle from Lahaina to and from Lahaina. It's going to be held in the beautiful Waikapu ballroom
the Merrill Monroe House. For those who don't, we all call it still the Merrill Monroe House. It should be quite a night. Peter Cater, as you said, is going to be our special performer. Okay, now Peter, I hope you all know who he is, but my gosh, he is one of the most brilliant pianists you'll ever hear. Truly inspired. He was just nominated for his 13th time for the Grammys. He has like 50 CDs out, and they're so brilliant. And I don't know how many of you know this. You may not know this, but Peter has a passion for the ocean and for whales, and has actually done CDs about and with the whale sounds. And that's been one of his things that he's done. He's also extremely well known, has done quite a few soundtracks. He was good friends with Robert Redford, and Robert Redford had him over to his house many times and had him involved in doing events that were environmentally friendly. So Peter's background is kind of mind-blowing, and he's not the kind of guy who toots his own horn much, so he's kind of low-key, but my gosh, when you hear him play, every time I hear him play, I just get blown away. It's the latest CD I have here, and it's called Dancing on Water. And this one was really, really interesting. What he did is he has this great piano, and he has people lay underneath his piano, and they pick up the energy of his piano playing.
Oh, okay.
And he actually wrote pieces picking up on the energy of each person that was laying underneath the piano, picking up the vibes of all the piano strings and everything. And that's where Dancing on Water, his latest one that got nominated for its Grammy, came from. You didn't know all that, did you?
I had no idea. I know you're a huge fan.
I am.
He's new to me. I'm really looking forward to hearing him perform live, because I'm sure that's going to be a super special experience.
It is, absolutely. And it's going to add to the elegance of this thing. Okay, so on this one, women, you get to kind of go, oh, what am I going to wear? Now you do. You get to go, I get to wear my nice dress-up gown. I get to get all dressed up on this one, right? And you get to do that red carpet experience. So what are you going to wear, Allison?
I have no idea.
You gotta get, it's just a month away.
I have no idea. Yeah, I might have to go shop. This is going to call for a shopping expedition. So
I think
it's also a good excuse for that, to go out and get a new outfit.
I think you're going to have to do that. I just have to tell you, since we don't have a lot of choices here, you might want to go online or You can go to places that have bridal gowns and get the bridesmaids gowns sometimes.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, well, you can usually get some pretty good deals on bridesmaids gowns. Be right after Valentine's Day, so maybe they'll have a sale. I'm just saying, you might get a good deal. But I mean, so this is not just a beautiful and elegant event as well. There will be dancing. You got a DJ coming in to play as well, right?
Right. So we're going to end off the night, on a real high note, just to have some good music and a dance floor, so people can, just have some fun, and that's how we're going to end the evening. And throughout the evening, though, we're also going to have presentations on the theme of the event, which was, we've done a lot of work around whales and helping bring them back from basically the brink of extinction.
Yeah.
And now we're noticing that it's not that we're noticing, but we're sort of turning our efforts towards marine animals that aren't as fortunate as whales and are not having as successful recovery. So this benefit is for what we're calling the endangered 5, which are 5 cetaceans that are very close to being extinct.
And I heard you or saw a press release on that, but I had no idea what 5 cetaceans there are that are that close to extinction.
There are. I mean, we're sure that there's more than 5, but these are 5 that really within our lifetime could cease to exist. So one of them is a population that's found here in Hawaii. It's called false killer whales.
I didn't know those were close to extinction.
They are. They're very close to extinction, and I have the numbers here. I can tell you how many there are.
They sometimes are seen here. I know. I've seen pictures of people who take pictures of them here.
There's estimates that there's less than 150 of them left of this particular population of false killer whales, which is actually a type of dolphin, but
they look like a whale. They're black and white, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why they kind of call them false killer whales, because of their resemblance to orcas.
Is that why people are killing them or something?
It's not so much killing. It's more in terms of degradation of their habitat and overfishing and getting caught in fishing nets and more environmental hazards that are being caused by human behaviors.
I did not know they were getting close to extinction. That's a shame. Those are amazing.
They're
amazing to watch.
They're cute, the cutest
they are
animals.
Cute.
If you go to our website, pacificwhale.org, and under the conservation page, there are pictures. You can also adopt them. We have in our Adopt a Whale.
You need a big backyard.
Our Adopt a Whale and false killer whale and dolphin program, we have a couple of false killer whales that are available for people to virtually adopt. So you can learn a lot about them, and they're very cute and very close to to extinction.
They're about 15 feet, 12 feet. They're not big. They're not like big whales.
They're not.
They're smaller.
Yeah, they're not. I think I'm not. Our researchers could probably speak more about it, but I don't think they're quite as big as humpback whales.
Oh no, they're smaller for sure. I've seen pictures of them off the coast here, and they do come every now and then.
Yeah.
But
this population they are endemic to Hawaiian waters. So, and then there's a marine animal called Maui's dolphin, which interestingly enough is only found in New Zealand, even though it's called Maui's dolphin. And that population is also fighting for survival at this point. There's estimate of only 43 of these particular animals left
God. And I've
in
never
existence.
heard of them before. What do they look like? A spinner, or what do they look like?
They look kind of like a small dolphin. I think they are pretty much the smallest dolphins known in the world. So they're very small, but they look just basically like miniature dolphins.
So what do you do when it gets down to 43? That's extremely dangerous.
It is. So there are groups and activists and advocates who are working to help these populations of animals. And so this event, all the money that we raise, we're going to be providing to organizations and to different researchers in those particular regions who are working to protect these populations to support their work.
They know what happened, why it's been, again, is it just because of the environment or situation of why they've gotten down to only 43?
Yeah, disease, pollution of the ocean. There's a lot of mining that was going on in that region in New Zealand that really impacted their ocean habitat. Yeah, so they every year it's basically going down in that particular population. They're thinking there's maybe 10 who are reproductive females. So
oh my gosh,
the thought that they would be able to, with those low numbers to regenerate, it's not looking good right now. So we're hoping to support that. And the sad thing is
you do want to take them out of the environment to breed them, but you almost have to take a few to save them to try to put them in a different environment if the environment's killing them.
Well, I think the strategies will probably vary depending on the region and who's working on it. So we just tried to find, who were the different groups and the different people who could most have an impact on helping to conserve these animals. And so those are the people that we're working with, because we're not based in these areas. So it's not something that makes sense for Pacific Well Foundation to try and have an impact on directly. So we want to support the people who we feel can best do that. And so we've already pledged $10,000 from Pacific Well Foundation to go to these 5 populations and people working to preserve them. And that's what the Masquerade Gala is going to raise additional funds that can be
really
distributed to them.
No, that's very important to know. And I know you mentioned that, but when I hear the stories of like this Maui dolphin with only 43 left, that's heartbreaking. That's what are a couple of the other ones that are on the verge of extinction?
So the other 3 that we identified was the Chilean blue whale, and it's one of the largest mammals in existence. But there's so little known about them. Scientists don't even really know how many there are left of them.
Wow!
So
they're different than the blue whale.
There's a subspecies of blue whale that are particular to this area in Chile, and then there's the Arabian Sea humpback whale. Which is one of the most isolated groups of whales that exist.
It's in a very small
area off the coast of Oman, actually. And this is the only group of humpback whales that does not migrate. So between winter and summer, they are there in that area all year long. And so they are also, let's see, let me just make sure my numbers are correct on how many there are there's less than 100 estimated of these particular those particular animals. And then the vaquita in Mexico.
Never heard of that one.
It's a porpoise, actually, and it's found off the coast of Mexico in the northern Gulf of California. And they're thinking that there's maybe 30 vaquitas left.
This is kind of bothersome.
Well, I didn't mean to bring you down.
I need to be informed, but I had no idea that there really were some of these populations down to such low numbers.
Right, yes.
When you hear 30 of these, is it called?
Vaquita.
Vaquita with the V.
Vaquita.
And that there's only 43 of these Maui dolphins left. That's very disturbing.
It is.
And
once they're gone...
I've never heard of it before. No one talks about this. This is the first time I've heard about it.
And that's what we're trying to do, is to bring awareness to these populations so that people can learn about it, can get more involved. Because one of the things that we say at Pacific Well Foundation is that extinction is forever. Yeah. So once these animals are gone, if it gets to that point, then that's it. There'll be no more vaquitas. There'll be no more Arabian Sea humpback whales. No more Maui dolphins. So unless we start acting right now to preserve those populations and help them grow and survive in their natural environment, it doesn't look good for them.
Well, I was reading something just the other day that was kind of mind-blowing about green sea turtles. They decided to check on the population numbers, and I think this is off Australia. And, of course, there's been different temperatures, rising waters and heat, and green sea turtles can change sexes. And they did this study, and they found that it was 117 to 1 have become females.
Wow.
117 to 1. And they think it's because of the temperature of the water and because the females can lay more eggs when it's hot. But if there's only one male to 117 females, what do you have happening here, you know?
Right.
I mean, so there's changes going on, and there are major changes going on, and we see extinction going on. I mean, there's red flags everywhere. You did such a great job in the summer of doing that story about the plastic ocean and bringing that movie out. But when I heard the story, and I think Marina was the one in here telling me the story about what's happening, the fact that there's plastic particles in all of the ocean, that we are actually now polluting all of the marine mammals and all the fish, and everything is being polluted by the fact of what we've ruined the ocean with these plastic particles. I mean, it's at a danger red flag time where we really have to do something.
Definitely, yeah. We're seeing. I mean, by and large, the threats that these animals are facing are all human-generated threats and things that we could do something about. It's not all dire news, because if you look at humpback whales, the North Pacific population, for instance, in the 70s and 80s when Greg Kaufman started Pacific Whale Foundation, there was less than 1,000 of those animals, and now we're looking at 23,000. So it is possible to bring them back and to have them rebound and have them flourish. But you
and
do
there are
have
many
to,
places that before were killing
work.
them, and now they're doing tours or whale watches.
Right.
So they're seeing there's more money involved in whale watches than there are in killing. But then you see something about like this killing of the dolphins, and I don't want to go into the cove and all that. We won't do that.
Okay.
But I do want to say that also you have some wonderful cruises happening with John Cruise.
Yes.
And with Amy Gilliam and with Barry Flanagan and Hoppe doing cruises.
Right.
And that there's also going to be a special festival happening, and a film festival that's free. Can you mention what's happening with the film festival? I think that's on the 17th, or it's the day before.
I think it's the 16th.
I think it's the day before the film festival.
The film festival is, February 16th at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel, and that's free, and we're going to be seeing some really exciting films from filmmakers and digital media artists who are really passionate about ocean conservation. So it'll be a whole night of beautiful films at Kaanapali.
Friday the 16th. At which hotel?
At the Kaanapali Beach Hotel.
Great.
Which we were there last year for the first year of that. So we're returning this year. It was very successful last year. We're looking forward to be even bigger this year.
And you know what? They have great room rates, too,
They
folks.
do.
So
they're a great hotel.
They are.
Wonderful to work with.
They are. So you could even spend the night if you want to go up there and see the films and spend the night. Because
exactly.
it's really good deals. But you have to do that in advance, because, that's going to be kind of close to Valentine's to a lot of people on the island.
Right.
So you might want to get a hold of that in advance as well. But, gosh, there's so much going on.
So much, yeah.
So much going on. And I know you're all super, super duper busy. And I know you might not be able to remember everything, but you do want to get your tickets for the special Masquerade Gala going for this important cause of saving these amazing dolphins and whales from extinction. Go to MauiWhaleFestival.org. That's MauiWhaleFestival.org. And Allison, I know you're so busy, but I just want to thank you for taking the time and coming in and tell us about everything that's going on, because it's a very exciting month, and there's just a lot to be involved in to help out. And I'm going to go out playing a little bit of this Dancing on Water. This is such a beautiful Peter Cater CD. I love this CD. The CDs will be available on the 17th at the King Kamehameha Golf Club as well. And I'm sure he'd be very happy to sign them for you and tell you about what he's up to. And by then, more than Grammy nominated, he's got a good chance of winning a Grammy. So thank you, everyone, for listening. And thank you, Pacific Whale Foundation, for doing all the amazing work that you do. It's really wonderful, and it's helping so much. And I look forward to going out on Friday and seeing the whales and getting out there on the water and feeling the magic that happens every time I go out there and see the whales and the babies and everything happening out there. Thank you, everyone, for listening. You have a wonderful one, and I hope to see you at some of these wonderful events. Keep supporting all these great causes, and a big aloha.